Moving to the top of the starter stand, it is Mike Helberg who will be the starter for this, the limited late model division. Don't forget, next Friday night, the Valente Modified Racing Series, their first event of 2017 here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Always on the card will be a full field of the Wheel and All-American Series divisions. Stafford's own SK, the SK Lights, the Limiteds, the late models, and the Dare Stock division. And the SK Lights come early and then bring a friend. Remember, May is Youth Organization Month here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. If you show up in your youth organization team shirt or uniform, you will be admitted absolutely free with a paid adult. And now we rev them up and go racing to the bottom of turn one.
And right now, the lead is owned by Cliff Saunders with R.J. Surdell hanging onto his shirt sleeve in second. And look at Albert Saunders. He is able to dust off David Teft and invade the top three.
There's no question about it as they rumble back to the stripe. It's the four of Cliff Saunders still in command. But right there in second is R.J. Surdell. But look a little further back at the bottom of the top five, Matt. And that's where things are getting heated up. Teft is sideways. He gathers it back. Here comes Brian Narducci and the Provost machine, all working their magic to get to the front.
And it's Robert Blocks in the third. Here comes Jeremy Lavoie right next door to Teft, and he goes by him and made it look easy. Like a Formula One move by Jeremy Lavoie.
And Robert Valerio making his presence known. He takes over that Clemens car, and he is coming to the front like the old hot knife through butter. Meanwhile, it is Brian Narducci who dropped a little further back for a while, but he's starting to march his way back to the front of the field. Back up front, R.J. Surdell being hunted down by Albert Saunders in a bid for second.
Sometimes you have to take a small step back to make a big surge forward. That's what Brian Narducci did. Now the spotlight is on Albert Saunders, looking for some elbow room against R.J. Surdell. Surdell is able to fortify his spot as they swoop off the corner. Here comes Albert Saunders digging on the inside.
Trouble now, it appears that the number 88 machine of Provost has a problem and dropped off the pace just a bit. That'll work to the advantage of Brian Narducci, who has now found a home among the top six cars. Back to second, Surdell can't shake off the Saunders number 04 machine. Now he looks to move to the inside.
And he has plenty of room. Does he have plenty of power? Not yet. Surdell has a half a car length advantage. Now, pressing the issue is Saunders, and he is able to whirly-bird his way into the top two. So we have a Saunders family reunion at the 1-2 position.
No question about it, and it's not done yet, because all of a sudden, Jeremy Lavoie with that number 6 car, the Aspen Hills Farms car, has now closed up the gap rather impressively. And while all that's been happening, Brian Narducci is reeled in on the Provost number 88 car. But it's a pair of American sleeve bearings cars, the 4 and the 04 for the Saunders twins, running 1-2. 7 of 20 circuits now complete.
So a tale of two twins. It is Cliff leading, Albert in second, and Jeremy Lavoie, it looks like he is ready to strike like a Panther against the 87 of R.J. Surdell. And we have another interesting battle for fifth as Provost, he has to be up on the wheel to hold off Brian Narducci.
Brian Narducci's car got a little bit loose on him that last time by, coming off turn number 4. But he gathers it back. There's still plenty of time to get the job done. 8 of the 20 circuits are now complete. Things are just starting to get settled in just a bit. R.J. Surdell ran Royal strong in his qualifying, Matt, and he is sitting in that third spot, but Lavoie is closing up the gap. Jeremy Lavoie running in the 4th position. Good run for him tonight. And whatever the problem that Provost had earlier, he has solved it because he's getting quicker.
Yeah, that car has gotten its second win, and he's pulling away from Brian Narducci. We are at the halfway point, and Cliff Saunders had a bigger lead a couple of laps ago, and Albert Saunders is definitely gaining ground on every lap.
He certainly is. As the clock is ticking, we are just past the halfway marker in this event. Meanwhile, here comes the number 21 machine for Doug Phelps down through the center of the infield. He tries to keep it going and keep it out of harm's way as we still remain under green.
But he is trapped in Mother Nature country right in front of the safety road. It is still Cliff Saunders dominating the pace. And look at Jeremy Lavoie. He was a lot further behind the 87 of Surdell a couple of laps ago than he is now. Now the yellow comes out because you see young kids, 5 years old, making their racing debuts. And then you see some of the veterans, like defending champion and the senior champs, Mike Perry, Tim Sullivan, Scott Foster. So if you want to come and be treated to just a night of excitement, come on Monday night for opening night of the Wild Thing Karts. And all summer long, you will be seeing the best in kart racing at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Okay, we're about ready to get it fired back up. There is the green. And the Saunders twins are wheel to wheel to the bottom of turn number 1. And Cliff Saunders still has the slight advantage. But look at that battle for second on back, Matt. Like a gaggle of geese following their leader off turn 4.
And the biggest geese of them all trying to move into second, and he does, is Albert Saunders. But he is losing a little ground on the outside groove. Lavoie kicked up the hill, so Lavoie got kicked to the curb. When he comes back down, he is near the rear of the field.
No question about it. And now, car number 33 comes out of nowhere. That's Robert Bloxham III. Off the turn, back to the stripe. Bloxham's picked up a spot. He moves up into the 5th position currently. Out in front, Cliff Saunders still the leader of the pack.
Remember, Bloxham had a podium finish on opening weekend, but right now he's getting a challenge from Brian Narducci. So Narducci has been quiet for the last couple of laps, but he is starting to turn up the volume now.
He is a closer, and now we've got another caution. This is for
the contender for the home stretch. Alexandra, who won a few times in the Dare Stock division, and it is a pretty substantial move up. The Dares to the limited late models, and right now Alexandra is doing a good job in the top 4 with 7 laps to go.
7 circuits remaining. Lights are off at the point on the pace car. The Saunders twin, American Sleeve Baron, local business here in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, long been associated with those 2 young men in the competition and very successful. Let's see what's going to happen as we're about ready to fire them back up. Keep your eyes on that second row as R.J. Surdell being pressured heavily by Alexandra Fern in the upper lane. And now Surdell drops back just a bit, Matt, and here comes Alexander.
And look at Jeremy Lavoie. Remember, he was knocked backwards a couple of laps ago, but he is a top 5 car again, even though some Jello tires that time as he made a wiggle behind Surdell. It is still Cliff Saunders out in front, but the heat is on. Albert Saunders, he is adhesive taped to his back bumper.
Certainly is. He continues to set the pace, but we've got a side-by-side battle for the 3rd spot. Surdell continues to guard the inside lane. Alexandra Fern showing her talent in the upper groove as Lavoie is right there in the catbird seat. But just as you pointed out, Matt, Lavoie's car gets very loose at times, and now he's trying to get down underneath Alexandra Fern to take over the 4th position. Well, all that's been happening. Brian Narducci has emerged among the top 6 cars.
Now here comes Lavoie. Dive bomb move down low. Alexandra Fern isn't giving up the spot. Remember in the Dare Stock how well she used to run on the outside? It looks like that same technique is carried over to the limited late models.
Her brother pulls down on pit road with car number 92, and here comes Brian Narducci to work his magic and take over the number 5 spot. Off the turn, still leading, but the margin is really being tightened up as Cliff Saunders continues to hold off his brother, but Surdell is still there. Now look at the battle for the 4th spot. Here comes Brian Narducci digging in hard. Narducci has come from the back of the pack and a penalty call to move back into the top 4. And right there with him and challenging Lavoie is still Alexander Fern. 2 laps remaining.
And Narducci looks like he has the fastest car right now, but the man in the lead is Cliff Saunders. Will his brother have something to say about it? He is getting closer as they missile their way into the 4th corner. It is still Cliff Saunders. but the top three can fit inside a keyhole.
Certainly can. White flag is out. Nobody's surrendering an inch. It's bragging right for Mother's Day weekend between the Saunders twins. Down the back straightaway, deep into turn number 3 for the final time. It is the 4 of Cliff Saunders. Albert Saunders glued to his back bumper. Checkered flags are out, and it'll be Cliff Saunders to take down the win. Albert Saunders in for second. R.J. Surdell for third. Brian Arducci for fourth. And Jeremy Lavoie to finish in fifth over Alexandra Furr.
And then in seventh, just crossing the line, was Rob Valerio. Doug
Pointed out, American sleeve bearing, right in the center of Stafford Springs off of Main Street, has long been associated with these two. And another good run for R.J. Surdell, finishing on the podium again with the number 87 car.
And he looked the part.
Certainly
Looked
did.
like he belonged tonight.
Let's head down to Napa Victory Lane with Darren Ayotte.
And Cliff Saunders with a huge win for you. I like the hard hat you got on, the 811. Great battle with you and your brother Albert Saunders, but after the struggles a couple weeks ago, not even finishing, having that trouble, what does this win mean to you?
It means a lot. I really came here tonight just wanting to run the feature and finish with no damage or anything. We had a lot of problems with the car at open practice, brake problems and stuff. Then Sizzler 2 weeks ago, we ended up blowing the engine, and so we had to change that, and there was just, I had to go through a lot of things on the car, and we were still off a little bit. We're still having a couple little issues, but starting up front definitely helped. The car was really good. I really got to thank Barry for doing the setup on the car and all the work he's done. He just keeps working on the car, always making it better, and it worked out really good. Got to thank my brother for running me clean. That was, I think he definitely had a better car, and just trying to hold him off. I made a lot of mistakes late in the race. The car was kind of going away a little bit, so still ended up good. And just got to thank all my sponsors: American Sleeve Bearing, BA Museo, Rad Auto Machine, Fluckiger Race Chassis, Strep Family Chiropractic, Trinity Health, Rob Davis, my mom, Tom and John Butler, Barry Fluckiger, everyone for all their help.
Great job. Victory for Cliff Saunders here, but let's turn it on over to John Gates now, who's got the other brother, Al Saunders, and his reaction to this battle. John?
Okay, Darren, thank you very much. Second place, man. I tell you what, Albert, the 04 car looked good tonight. Looked like you had something for the 4, maybe a couple more laps. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I needed a couple more laps. The car was really good. Thanks to Barry Fluckiger for the awesome job setting the car up. I think I was a little bit better. Not really sure on that last restart there. I don't know what happened in turn 3, but every lap I entered turn 3, it felt like the right front tire was flat. I'd get back to turn 1 and the car was back to normal again. So there was something going on in turn 3 after that big wreck. But 2 green cars finishing 1-2, you can't get any better than that. So thanks to American Sleeve Bearing, Rob Davis, BA Museo, Rad Auto Machine, Fluckiger Race Chassis, Johnson Memorial Hospital, Strap Family Chiropractic. I got to thank the team, especially Barry Fluckiger, because the car was really good tonight.
Al, congratulations, man. Second place. Good to see you up here on the podium. Let's talk to R.J. Surdell. Third place tonight, man. The 87 was coming, and it seemed like it was doing better as the race progressed.
Yeah, it was coming alive towards the end there. I mean, I was right on the 04 there, and give me a couple more laps, I would have been by him and chasing the 4. That last caution really kind of hurt us. I was reeling them in, but I got to thank Tri-City Fire for, helping me out and B&B and, my crew, especially my crew chief is my wife. She and my son have been working hard on this car. We've been working all winter long to get up here. Last week we had a broken sway bar bolt, didn't even know it. Found out in the race going spinning. But, hey, we made it up to third. Hopefully we'll get up in the winner's circle here soon.
Good driver right there, R.J. Surdell. Third place. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations goes out to our